Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Northern Arena Beat Invitational by Bell, the online qualifier. This is it, the grand finals. We've got nothing more after this. Team NP versus FDL, Friendship, Dedication, and Love. The last two teams that remain. We've got an epic best of five ready to get started for you here. I'm Sayori, joined by Mottpax, and you're watching on moonducktv. Mottpax, how you feeling? We've made it all the way here to the grand finals. Two of the best teams here from the NA region.
Yeah, it is time. These are I would have to say probably two of the biggest, at least North American fan favorites. Of course, a couple other teams of our South American brothers we're pulling for, but this is it. NP, FDL, the long-awaited trial for NP. So many people excited about these guys, right? Coming out of the roster shuffles and whatnot. A story of friendship. Apparently, just wants to play with friends. Said EE, and here we are.
There you go, man. And one step closer to qualifying for a LAN on home turf in Montreal. The talent list went out this morning. Trent, glad to see you made the cut, buddy. Good work.
Yeah, close one.
Well done.
Yeah, I do what I can.
So we got a first pick Shadow Demon here for Team NP. Per usual, illusions. Going to be a little bit scary here. Your TBs, your Morphlings, your Lunas, your Juggernauts. And now Bat Rider, first pick here for FDL.
I was gonna say this is definitely some good respect chosen here by NP, just banning out the axe. I mean, very powerful hero overall, but MJW has been absolutely tearing it up on the big red bad boy that he is. So Bat Rider, some teams going for this Bat Rider IO play where you can really dominate the lane, and IO can just show up there. He can show up mid, do the same thing. Undying offers a lot of that, something that obviously Eagle was putting off in a lot of his games. He was pulling out the Undying, but before here, Terry. He's also been playing very well in the hero.
Yeah, and no surprise to see Oracle first banned by NP. It's the support that FDL love. They will first pick it pretty much anytime they can get their hands on it, just about. I think in a game one of a best of five, pretty likely that they'll resort to that comfort pick there. So NP going to think about what they want to do. A lot of those illusion carries going to be banned out in this next phase, so if there's one they really, really want, that Morphling is particularly valuable. All right, it's the Jug. Safe pick,
that's interesting. That's a very good hero. Obviously, doesn't give away the lane for sure. Could be mid, could be safe lane. But one thing is that they give up the captain, Mr. Kunkka himself. Now, sometimes it can be detrimental to take both supports in the first phase. Then you can kind of build some of your cores around it. You know what those ganking rotations are going to look like in the early game for the most part. But when it's Shadow Demon Kunkka, I mean, Kunkka just does everything. So neither team putting him too high on the priority list. Good news for sure, I would say, for MJW and his Bat Rider. Because when you're trying to grab somebody, last one, bring them on in, and they just get X'd and brought back, it is ridiculously frustrating.
Yeah.
This might be just because of the pool of heroes they've kind of been showing from Team NP. Like the Elder Titan still being in there, the Nyx Assassins you see banned out. They love pairing up with that Shadow Demon. It makes Nyx actually a good support.
Yeah.
Because he can just rotate on in and land something after the disruption, and very good against Bat Rider, of course.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Shadow Demon. He's turned into this very flexible support that can spend a lot of time stacking in the jungle very effectively with Shadow Poison. He can end up doing a fair bit of damage in long, prolonged fights, and then, of course, you've got setup with Disruption as well as the defensive capabilities with Disruption. The Undying for FDL, though, kind of an interesting pick. I guess it's something that they've been playing a little bit more recently. Maybe not. I thought I saw it in one of their recent histories.
They played it up against Infamous in the first game, and then
that's
Undying's been causing some mad trouble, man. Eagle started picking up, EG even picked them up over in MDL, one of their games too. So he's just very valuable. He doesn't, he definitely falls off a little bit into later parts of the game for sure. You can't really argue with that, but
are we going back to the age of the Undying? I mean, not too many patches ago, he was first pick, first ban, actually broken material before the Tombstone change.
Yeah, he's in an interesting spot. I really like him with Oracle. That was one of the cooler things that I've seen showed off by a lot of teams where you get False Promised, and right before the False Promise ends, that Undying just slaps a giant Soul Rip on you, and that guy is just max HP instantly.
Oh, yeah, that is a cool combo. Very spammable as well once you get some XP on the Undying. A long second banning phase here. Both teams taking their time. Void, third ban by NP, and that Nyx Assassin we were talking about taken out by FDL, but now the ball in the hands of FDL, thinking about what they want to take out here. Still potentially one of those carries, and it's an MV hero. It's that Razor, the classic.
The old the lane dominators, right? It's kind of been the story of Envy in the mid lane, and NP's go-to, their bread and butter. Other big heroes still left in the pool. The anti-Jug hero would be the Ursa. They already are rocking like the Bat Rider, helps out pretty nicely with that, but it's also not something that Beast has been showing too much play on. I don't think FDL have really been picking up the old bear, versus like everyone else has really been going for it. So
Yeah.
they might throw a little bit of curveball. They kind of brought it like a Beast of Sven, which is a little bit unexpected. But other than that, he's mostly just been on Faceless Void or the old Morphling.
Sand King yet to make an appearance in this game. Another hero we've seen a lot of just throughout this tournament. A lot of first pick, well, maybe not really banned so much, but proven to be a very valuable first pick. The amount of pressure he can put on in those melee matchups and all that kind of stuff. Also, just a great team fighter once he gets the Blink Dagger. We know
with
this.
SVG too. Like if it's not going to be his Elder Titan, it could just be the Sand King. Both work really well coming down from that dire side, going into that Radiant safe lane. Having the Undying is a nice little defense mechanism here for FDL, because if he's not up there, messing with if Bat Rider's going to be one-on-one with someone, which NP could be setting up with someone like the Juggernaut, they could go back for like a Slark or something if this is going to be some, Jug mid Slark safe lane kind of deal for AUI.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff could come out, but that means that Undying can either go with the Bat Rider if he gets matched up against the tri lane, or he can just be with his own tri lane and obviously compete very well being Undying. It's kind of his, lovely place to be.
Yep, that's what he does. Third pick now for FDL. It's the Lion. Great support to pair with the Bat Rider. A lot of burst damage just to follow up with the Lasso. Allows you to pretty much insta-give somebody, start off fights 4v5, and also just provides a lot of control. With these three picks, they've got a good mix of sustainability there with the Undying, the annoyance of the Tombstone, and then just, a lot of stuns, a lot of controls once that Bat Rider hits 6. Good team fight.
Yeah, I'm pretty down. The Bisa hero is going to be the really interesting one here. And there's the SVG
Good
Elder
call.
Titan. I mean, that's so good. It's so good from him, too. Like, he's just been doing an exceptional job on it. It's very good when you have, like, this lane-dominating hero, which I still kind of feel like NP want, but with Razor being gone, I think that was a really good ban because, especially when you're on the Dire side, if you have one of those lane dominators like Razor or OD, and you're sitting on that Dire hill, the Radiant, you can get away with a little bit of an easier pick. Like we saw Kataro playing quite a bit of like Storm Spirit up against OD. He had some Juggernaut against the OD because you can just fall back to that camp to try and get a little bit of your farm, right? Those camps are pretty close on the Radiant side, and that's where SVG, in those moments, he can come on over as that Elder Titan and really mess with your farm. Like Elder Titan, Ogre, Kunkka, 3 heroes exceptionally good at that.
Yeah.
So if they still want to go back for one of those heroes, I don't think that there's enough good ones left in the pool here that I can imagine Envy wanting to play. It'll probably end up being an Envy Jug mid, but if they did, SVG's in a great spot to contest that sort of like farming in there. Same thing with MJW coming down.
All right, well, what does FDL want here? Is this the Bisa hero, perhaps? They need 2 cores.
They have the old last pick, so...
Yeah.
747's heroes... What's he got left in the pool? I mean, some Mirana...
What matches up well against Jug?
I mean, the classics would be your position 1s, right? Your Ursas, your Svens. We did see a little bit of Bisa Sven up against... I think that was exactly what it was. It was a Bisa Sven and a 747 Mirana up against the Juggernaut, and that ended up being like a Viper draft come out from Infamous. So
he does gravitate towards the Mirana, though. Sometimes they get stuck where she can't get the Ags quite fast enough. But here you go. TA, somebody that can come online maybe a little bit earlier. Some good damage here.
Nice. I don't think I've got to see the 747 TA in a little while here. They were one of the teams banning it out quite a bit, if I recall correctly, up against, Kataro and whatnot, right? That guy's been always known to bring out his TA in the clutch situations, but here it is, and then the Beastmaster. So good offlaner to come on down. Right. Elder Titan Beastmaster can do so much work just as a duo.
Yeah, and this is just some good team fight in general from NP now. You've got AoE healing from the Ward, you've got auras from the Elder Titan, auras from the Beastmaster. Already shaping up to be just a good old-fashioned 5-man death ball. Once that Beastmaster hits level 6, get those rotations going, get some objectives, and they can just start to control the map from there. Even though FDL have TA, who can obviously provide a lot of control around Roche with the traps and the vision and the minus armor, but they've got Elder Titan. He's like kind of the king of the Roche pit, very good at delaying things, and then of course Beastmaster being there with the aura to make it all the easier. Viper, the final ban from FDL. We actually have seen some Viper this tournament, though I think it's only been from South American teams.
Makes sense, for sure. Like, again, that would have given them... When you looked at it before and you're like, I don't think he really wants a Viper, right? Like, that's the last lane dominator here. It wasn't that great with the draft. I mean, now there's a TA, though. It's like, okay, wow. Then Envy, I'm sure, would be very happy going Viper mid with AUI and the Juggernaut.
Guess that's true.
Yeah, just get rid of that thing. The big ones left in the pool. I don't think we've ended up actually seeing any Envy Invoker. I remember it being banned a lot during the start of the tournament, and then I don't think they ever picked it.
I don't recall any games
so we
with
just
it.
never saw it. That's pretty much what kept happening.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. It's not a bad option. It's a more good team fight. Also fares pretty well against the TA. Just having the Forge Spirit makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, just, good micro with the Force Spirits can really be hell on someone like that TA. She will get a little bit of early help with the Undying, but similarly, whoever's in mid's going to get some help from the Shadow Demon. Worth noting that finally there's a game where the Beastmaster's coming out and he doesn't have either of those annoying supports up against him. There's no Oracle to take care of those summons in lane, and there's also the Shadow Demon on his own team, with the Shadow Poison. We saw that was Team Secret versus EG. There was one game where there was just so many Hawks being denied out there. Is that the blankless ban?
They didn't ban. Yeah, they ran out of time. It was either
are we disconnected? No,
misclick or intentional. Hard to say. Bold strat there, Cotton.
The mind games. It's a best of 5.
They could still revert to the Terrorblade here. They did play it on Envy mid.
You'd be up against a TA, high armor.
Yeah,
that sounds like something
nice.
that Envy would do.
Of course, pairs well with the Shadow Demon, but it's the Invoker. Okay.
I like it.
All right, this is cool. This is great 5-man for NP though. Now you've got the Jug who can benefit from the Shadow Demon illusion harassment. You've got great reset, a lot of control, huge damage. What does FDL need here? Timbersaw. Okay, that'll tie this draft together pretty nicely. NP with 3 melee heroes, a little bit of Zoo. That's food for Bisa. I like this. Nice high damage carry here. Well, semi-carry. Whatever Timbersaw is.
He's a carry.
He's kind of a carry.
Same. It's fine. So he's looking to come online, get up in that Bloodstone, TA, maybe the Blink first, and MGW as well, of course. All right. I dig it.
So what are you thinking here? Which draft do you like more?
Kind of NP, I think, have more options for bailout. Kind of I don't feel like the game has to go a certain direction that they guaranteed have to win it. Whereas when you look at FDL, it's like TA and Timbersaw can get a little bit worrisome as you're going later and later, unless you're crazy ahead or something like that. And there's always going to be that comeback potential because you have Elder Titan, Beastmaster, Invoker, quite a bit of wombo combo. High levels on the Invoker can be pretty scary. I'm sure AUI is going to be reading all those Reddit posts, man, and microing his Omni Slashes to the greatest possible degree right now.
Yep.
The some new tech guys. We're like Melee now or something where people are discovering all this shit. So
what's the mechanic? I'm not up on the latest.
It's if you Omni Slash and you're moving towards an opponent, you can hop over to them. But if you're spamming right click or to move while you're Omni Slashing, you also don't attack as fast. It's it's kind of funny.
Okay.
It blew up to an amazing degree. I couldn't believe how highly people were loving that post, but
situationally beneficial. I don't know. People just like kind of groundbreaking stuff like that. Mechanics that have been around for a while, but just discovered there's some weird Indiana Jones-esque feel to it. Where
someone who's been spamming a lot of Jug and everything in these pro games and stuff is just God damn it! It's I don't want anyone else to know about that.
Yeah, it's the same time the first time I saw that video where Shadow Demon stacks 5 camps at once. It's wow, that's really cool. Pretty impractical. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it.
Never use this.
This is still pretty neat that in theory somebody could actually do this and get a massive amount of efficiency out of it. It's stuff like that is just kind of neat, and I think people like theory crafting. Isn't that the whole allure of watching esports? It's fun to think about how epic stuff can be, and then you finally get to see people do it. Theory crafting's half the fun, man.
Owie equals noob. Damn, the trash talk,
Harsh,
man.
Dude.
Holy shit. No holes barred.
Brutality. So it's going to be a fun LAN in Montreal. Again, winner of this best of 5 going to the big event. They announced, I think, 4 of the teams that are invited. I think there's still a few announcements to come on that front, but it's shaping up to be a fairly good lineup. I have to cheat and look it up. I can't remember the team list off the top of my head.
Stan King, Oracle, Q on Courier. Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, God.
Serious. They were saying in the lobby this was going to be serious business. To be fair, it was only Bisa saying it was going to be serious business.
Yeah, what was that? I saw him typing about how he's completely serious now, and
because Bisa was messing. Apparently, Bisa's just been messing around. This is serious business. He's ready to go. It also means no more shoutouts, though. I don't know.
Damn it!
I got my courier killed, guys. Oh, typical.
Damn it, Google.
Yes, 1437 was trying to be Stan King. Vic Jethro just subscribed with Twitch Prime. What's up with Twitch Prime, man?
What? I don't
see
know,
it on
man.
the
I have
Twitter.
been unplugged. I
Okay,
took a
you're
day
unplugged
off,
too?
and I have
All
no
right.
idea what's happened. It's like the world has changed, man.
Everyone's all up on Twitch Prime. There's crowns in our chat.
Wow. So
they,
let's see. Overview. All right, I finally found the team list. Alliance, Complexity, Digital Chaos, and EG are the 4 direct invites that have accepted. So that's pretty exciting.
Coming over to
Complexity's new
old
lineup.
up to Canada. I know that's gonna be good. I'm excited for that one too.
I mean, DC and EG though, it's pretty hype. And then the winner of this series will be added to the list. And then there's still 3 more teams that are yet to be announced, and they could be anyone from anywhere. The mystery is real.
From
What?
anywhere?
From anywhere, yeah.
Even China?
Even China. Wow.
I'm
I
totally
think,
speculating. I literally don't know anything.
I
Just you
think
guys.
China is inclusive of everywhere.
Wow. What about the cruise ship?
Well, I don't know about the cruise ship.
How come we're not having a land on a cruise? You know, I get all
Yeah.
excited because you guys like, yeah, we're gonna, finally we're getting a land for what's now, Northern Arena Beat Invitational, formerly known as the Gloriousness of Canada Cup, and then someone else comes out with a cruise land. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I'm still not
finally
convinced
had
of the
our shot.
practicality of the cruise land. You know,
Dude, they
that
ran
could
the
be one.
satellites.
Yeah, you ever have one of those moments where you sit back and you watch an event be a disaster and just think, kind of dodged a bullet with this one. I'm not really that sad I wasn't invited anymore. That has potential to be one of those events. It could be an amazing success and everybody loves it, but I'm not sold. I think seasickness could be a problem. Everybody has a different tolerance for that kind of stuff. What happens if, even 5% of the players have their, ability to play the game at the highest level mitigated because of seasickness? That's a big problem. And you can't just fix that, You're
Can you imagine if that
you're on the
actually
boat.
happened?
Yeah. What do you do though,
Well, what are they gonna do? Tweet about it? I'm sure the satellite will go out. So.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
then
like we're gonna
satellite
find
internet. I mean, to be fair, like satellite. When you hear them say satellite internet, you think of like HughesNet or some bullshit, bargain online ripoff. But if you're doing like a big live event, you can get those what they call satellite trucks, and that's how you get really crazy internet like anywhere in the world for TV quality broadcasting. So there is like really fast satellite technology you can get fast internet. So I think if you're willing to pay enough, the internet is actually not the biggest problem. I think it's more just the boat and the waves and the rocking, I mean, how many misclicks are we talking about here because of just a shift in the tide? That's the kind of stuff that worries me,
Are they like gonna be docked? Yeah, I haven't even considered that.
Oh, well, I mean, if they're just going to be docked, then it feels like kind of a gimmick. Like, why not just, have the land in a mansion? It's just a boat that's sitting there. That seems a little... I mean, I guess it's still kind of cool. It's probably pretty classy and awesome, but... I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun to party on a yacht with a bunch of Dota
I'm sure it
people.
would
I
be.
just don't think it's practical from a purely competitive standpoint. That's the part that seems... Like, let's have a banquet on the boat beforehand and then have the tournament at the dock, but...
Oh, we're back.
Thank fucking God, honestly.
Yeah, no
That's-
more talking. I mean, actually, I was getting.
I didn't
that
mean to
whole
rip
cruise
into
ship thing.
that tournament so hard. I think it's a
yeah,
cool
the invites
idea,
have been
but
announced, have they? Yeah, I see how it is. Nice try.
my bad. I mean, who? Okay. Oh, what do we got here? Wards Dyer getting some vision here of the Ancients. You actually don't see this ward that often anymore, especially not at that first like rune spawn point when everyone TP's out. That's kind of interesting from NP.
Yeah. There's these wonderful guys that chill up here that TA really likes.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
always nice to get an idea on that one. He's like BFFs with them.
Yeah, but I don't. Does this?
No, it's not a block. It's just for vision.
No, I know it
It's just
doesn't
like to
block,
see
but
what's
it
going
does
on.
show vision of the rune, doesn't it? I think it has just enough.
From that,
Yeah.
you would spot the room.
Yeah, so it's a nice little ward there. NV will get the top. TA gets bottom. Nothing too surprising. Looks like lanes will be fairly straightforward as well. MSS takes the off-lane Beastmaster. NV takes Invoker mid. It'll be a safe lane try up top for NP. 747 mid on TA. What do we got down bottom here? That'll be Timbersaw with the Bisa. And off-lane bat. Right now, 0-4 on the Undying, just hanging out. That's Aqua, right? Is that the whole thing?
Oh yeah, you can also call him Aqua.
0-4
I just
Aqua.
go with Terry.
Terry?
His name's Terry, so I just started
Okay.
calling him Terry. I hope he doesn't hate that.
Hello, Terry. Look at Envy. CC and C
God
is contagious,
bless.
man.
Wrong person. Apparently, we got a lot of cruise ship aficionados on here who are just like, "Oh, you can't get sick on a cruise ship." Oh, have you never been on a cruise ship?
I mean,
Sorry.
okay. I've met people that have gotten sick on cruise ships, so I don't know. Maybe there's different levels. I've not been on very fancy cruises. I will admit that always seemed like a gimmicky vacation to me. I always thought the cruise was more about the food because it's like all the buffet style, you know. It's the fatty vacation.
All right. Well, either way, we're finally back into the greatest best of 5 that's ever been on great North American soil, and the victor of which will be going into Montreal once again here. So, very happy to finally be back. This is that dual offlane that we talked about. We're going to have this Undying, this Bat Rider, very reminiscent of some fantastic dual offlanes we've had in the past, like Slardar and Enchantress coming up here, doing all kinds of fun shenanigans. Undying Bat Rider, same idea. Very bullying support here.
Yep. Kind of tough for the Shadow Demon to stand up. Just a couple of stacks of decay, and if he gets in range to punch, this Undying is going to hurt. So 1437 will know his distance here. MSS, he'll have some help as well. SVG, he rotates down, and it is going to be dual lanes on both sides of the coin. So this Beastmaster should be able to get at least a little bit of farm. They'll put some pressure on Bisa so he's not just free farming away on the Timbersaw.
We start thinking about like time. I mean, this is poor Bisa, or rather Susie in the mid lane. She's getting all over the place. But yeah, again, Forward Spirits, TA, not gonna have a fun time because there is this pressure from the Undying. It makes it much more difficult for like the Shadow Demon to come on down and do anything about it too. So he's totally solo. So, man, he's feeling the heat.
Tough one there. 50 HP. He does manage to survive. Pops the salve, but pretty close for comfort here at the 2-minute mark for old Susie. He is keeping up in CS, though, so for now, it's not too bad. Just needs to get up that bottle so we can keep up on regen. Runes come out. SVG actually finds an Invis. Gets scouted out by the Lion, so probably not much kill potential, but still an annoying rune. Looks like he'll head mid. He is level 2 already, so could get in range for a stomp, and maybe they could set up a kill here. NB low on mana, but drops a cold snap. SVG, stomp from the high ground, but the refraction's there. And this should be enough to keep the TA alive, or so I thought. Fairy Fire, a few more auto attacks. He actually doubles back, secures the kill for the Dire. Easy peasy. SVG draws the first blood. Nicely done for MP.
Yep, that pressure from the Bat Rider and the Undying, not quite enough to keep 2 supports up top. So 1437 chills on Shadow Demon, but SVG making those plays. That's what we talk about. He's so good on this Elder Titan. So many games he's made these exact plays where he's coming in here, harassing these stacks, or just getting right on top of the mid laner too. Yeah. And when it's already a disadvantageous matchup here, 4-7-4-7, it's only going to be worse with a roaming in Elder Titan. Raiding side, they have the vision here, which can give you some idea of what he's up to, but clearly not enough.
Yeah, I mean, the Invis rune is also what made that whole thing possible.
Yeah, exactly.
They scouted it. They should have known that there was a chance that rotation could happen, but still makes it just all the harder to deal with. Mid lane, little dive onto Envy. Terry rotating through, but good positioning from the Invoker. He'll stay back in the lane, and no worse for wear. TA actually starting to dominate the CS chart, though. Pretty impressive stuff from Susie against this Invoker. Now that he has help, it should stay this way for at least another wave or two.
Yeah, it's true. When you're actually the last hits, like 747 is kind of killing it right now. So the pressure from Aqua here, going to keep that going in his favor. At least Envy can be happy getting that first assist, I suppose, as SVG's actually the one that took the kill. But yeah, getting up him towards that Midas, classic kind of stuff here.
Yeah, nothing too surprising. SVG's just rotated back down bottom, and these two heroes so beefy at these
no stack though. Come on,
early levels.
What's going on? Come on, don't let me down, Terry.
A hard duo to deal with. You don't think of Beastmaster, Elder Titan as this scary offlane, but going blow for blow, they can last for a while. And the Elder Titan, man, that extra movement speed from the Spirit makes things for Stan King a bit more difficult here. He's found his level 3, so it could be worse for the Lion for sure. Looking at the last hits for Bisa, 15-1. Definitely not a free farm territory, but he's getting there. MSS is soaking up a lot of farm in this lane, though. He's going to have a fast Necro book at this rate.
Kind of surprising there wasn't a block on this camp here from the Radiant side. It's kind of one of those games where, like, this Elder Titan's going to be roaming around down here with that Beastmaster, especially that this camp becomes so valuable, like using it to pull back, keep the wave, to force Bisa to be out in a place where he's at least somewhat compromised. Not that they really have any chance of killing him, so yeah, maybe that's just why it's simply not important enough in their eyes. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Undying now rotating back up top. It's been a pretty slow game for Aqua. He's been trying to put pressure on, but this is kind of an odd combo where they can pressure pretty hard, but
not so easy to find a kill on the Shadow Demon until they get a few more levels. Once Bat Rider gets the lasso, I'm assuming he grabs that level 6 here, that'll open up some kill potential. But until then, kind of requires a misplay from the NP players to find a kill, especially somebody like Jug. You know, he can clear off the sticky. Now he's got his phase boots. He's actually going to go in and start pressuring the Undying the other way.
Get in my lane.
How the
Not quite
tables
up
have turned.
into Omni slash territory where that just becomes like, you know, chase you down into your tower,
Free
insta-kill
kill,
kind of business. It'll be interesting to see what MJW builds up into in terms of his skills. If he just goes like the 3-0-3 build and just keeps kind of like farming and pressuring the top lane. If Undying is going to stick around enough that maybe they can feel like they have a last opportunity onto 1437, they could go for it. But I think probably unlikely. I think the general timings of their whole team, like TA, Timbersaw, it's going to be pretty hard for them to actually get a lot done. The one benefit is they do have that line with that big burst damage, so if Stan King can manage to find a couple more levels here and get up into that Finger of Death, he might be enough to kind of roam around with this Bat Rider and actually pick someone off.
Yeah, looking at overall hero levels right now, Dire have a small advantage. 2 heroes, level 6. It's about 500 XP, almost 1,000 net worth, though. Up top, kill perhaps on the Undying. It's a 3-on-1. Shadow Poison starting to stack up. One more, and they'll have this kill easy. They actually commit the Omni Slash for it. Hand the kill over to AUI. That'll make it 2-0 as NP get another one up on the scoreboard. And that XP bump that I was just talking about grows that much more.
Well, now MJW's just like, I guess I can, maybe he'll go back up top, right? Omni Slash down. Thanks a lot there, Aqua. Good stuff. Other than that, everything else is still pretty chill, right? Mid lane's just kind of gone back into full last hitting mode for 747. There's no more pressure coming in from the support, so he gets to be a good TA. This is just like so different than we had a Invoker versus TA just last night in MDL. I can't recall who it was. I think it was Ghost on the Invoker, VG versus someone. But either way, oh, I think it was QO actually on the TA. I want to say in the mid lane. QO got like destroyed.
Really?
But I mean, it was some like stuff like this where you're just getting like the Force Spirit and Invoker at the same time just wasn't happening.
Smoke on smoke. Both sides with the same idea. 1437 in big trouble. The Echo Stomp buys him some time, but double damage on Susie makes it an easy 1-0 the other way. All right. I think that was actually just good old-fashioned same game sense. 2 heroes smoked up, looking for a rotation on mid. FDL just ended up with the slightly better positioning as NP were committed a little bit deeper. Hard for MV to really get in there.
Yeah, and you can see top lane MGW, he comes back in, and he has taken the lasso too. So he's looking to be a little bit active. That level still 4 and about a quarter here for old Stanking. Nice, gets the Hawk. Gotta get that money. And look at that experience. That's so good. This is why you always saw like Shadow Demon Oracle, man. Bringing down those summons.
How much does the Hawk give you? Like 150?
Yeah, it's 100 and some. I think it is 150.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Especially considering you kill it so quickly. Alright, Beastmaster making a lot of progress towards that Necro book. 750 gold off the recipe, and level 1 is there for 8 minutes. That is pretty damn good. Very high on the net worth, highest on the team actually, and already level 7.
Did you see what Beasta just did?
No.
He just threw the chakra and spun it the entire way back to cut this. He cut all the trees. I'm not sure if he was doing that intentionally to like open up his like safe lane, but it might be going down anyway.
That is kind of weird though. Yeah, you can completely deforest it. That's kind of a cool strat against like a Tinker or something. Just clear the whole side.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this tower is going down. It's like end up mattering. It's probably just for a last hit and just come in and see the hilarity of it. So, Beastmaster doing Beastmaster things. Up there. There's the Necro book going to be done here in a moment. Opens up Roche a little bit here for the Dire side. They do have the old Exord Invoker. Not quite as fast as it used to be, but can still help you get into it better than some of your other mid laners. Radiant also going to be looking in towards that one once that Deso eventually comes up here.
Rotation on the way, though.
They're hunting, man.
NB could be in some trouble. MJW, no blink, but he is level 7. Lasso at the ready, looking for an Invoker, but can't quite find it. Ends up just being a free tower down bottom for the Dire. Beasta trying to split push up top. Timbersaw, not really known for his split pushing prowess. Slowly but surely chipping away at it. The rest of his team will start to rotate as NP rotates their team through the jungle and back towards the mid lane. Looks like both sides kind of hungry for blood right now, just looking for that right angle to initiate, not trying to force it.
Yeah, look at AUI down bottom, trying to use the Hawk to get a kill here out of Stanking. Will Stanking fall for this trap?
Oh, Sunstrike. It actually hits him. Takes him below half HP. AUI comes cruising on in, looking for the Omni Slash. Caught by the Hex and the stun. Stanking will live.
Oh,
But
I mean,
his
it's
tier
worth
2
trying,
tower,
right?
yeah,
It's
maybe
a
not so
level 4
lucky.
lion. Like, might as well go for it. No
All right.
real chance of that backfiring on you there. So yeah, nicely done. They just do Beastmaster things, camp down the enemy jungle.
Tier 2 for tier 1, baby. That's not bad for MP at all.
Yeah, not really the same level of push quite yet until you have like this Deso TA up and online or anything like that, right? Probably going to be Blink first. I mean, we'll find out soon, I'm sure. I'm not sure how many times he's cleared out the stack. At least once, so that's good. But no big ones here so far for 747.
Yeah, up to about 2k gold. I think Deso first item is the ticket. He's gone for the early Blightstone. You see that pretty commonly, regardless of if it's a Blink Dagger Rush or what have you. But the early Deso just opens up so much team fight potential for the Radiant squad. Farm, farm, farm. Shadow Demon, almost level 6. Not too bad. Demonic Purge. A little bit extra catch for the side of NP. And what build does AUI want to go for here? We've seen when Envy plays the junk, he often grabs the Yasha and then goes back for the Battle Fury. Kind of curious.
I would guess Battle Fury, like with AUI's general playing style, being much more about kind of that solo farming and whatnot. Having Envy, he's going to be farming quite a bit too. You have some decent split pushers, and like 1437, we've already seen him doing quite a bit of work across the map with like shadow poisons and stuff once we get into that mid-game phase. So I think he'll just be heading in towards that farm status. The Blink Dagger is done to the TA, which is really nice here just because I think they know that it is an Invoker, right? Like, he's got the Midas. Okay. If you can go around the map and find him with the help of, like, your Timbersaw, who, although he's, he doesn't have Bloodstone yet, but he's not totally useless. You can kind of show up for a couple quick plays and something, maybe back away, and then try and get yourself up into that Deso. Either way, Susie's got to do something, right? You can't just, like, Blink is not a farming item for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I'm a little bit surprised because the Deso can double as sort of a pushing item and sort of a farming item as well. The Blink, definitely for killing. And we'll see if this mobility pays off. He walks right into an invisibility rune. Could be a good start to finding a pick-off or two. Though NP looking aggressive themselves. They've got all 5 heroes grouped up in enemy territory. Doing the old wraparound here on the tier 1 tower. Envy, he's had the Midas up now. He's level 9. Ready to do some big damage.
Well, they know they're all here from the Radiant side. Pretty obvious at this point the way they're moving around. They help the TA traps too.
They are pretty blind though. Yeah, the TA traps give them a little bit, but
got this Invis rune, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
the extra bit of safety, and that's another important thing with the Blink, right? Deso, of course, not going to keep you safe from this pressure that's coming on in. It could be just that couple lives that you save yourself from the Blink Dagger, even if you're not going to get a giant pile of kills. There's the Sentry Ward placed down too to eliminate any vision on Roche from a TA trap.
Easy peasy. FDL may be suspicious here, but they have to be somewhat cautious about how they want to move. You look at Radiant Vision, and it's getting pinged out. Slowly, they're moving into that area, but this is a pretty fast Roche. This is one of the great things about the Beastmaster. At 13 minutes, you can actually kill the big boy pretty quickly. Now TA gets caught, set up by 1437. Follow-up is there, and this TA just gets destroyed. Earth Splitter even deployed to boot. 1-0. They'll head right back into Roche. Easy fight for NP.
Yeah, drums on the Batrider. Nothing scary on the Timbersaw. Once the TA is dead, there's no reason not to dump everything on top of her, right? Because they're not going to be able to do anything as long as she's dead. So she tanks the full arsenal of NP here.
Yeah.
Envy grabs himself the Aegis. Now he can be even more adventurous with his overall farming here. So he tries to get into some of those bigger items past just the drums. Good
positioning from the Shadow Demon also. And I'm anticipating that there could be a rotation like that. They already had Sentry Wards waiting. Not really much TA could do there with the good high ground Shadow Demon. Another smoke now from FDL. I guess right after Roche, maybe you wouldn't expect them to be the aggressors.
Trying to use that finger of death. But, try and put someone's name on it, and SVG's just heading the opposite direction.
I mean, really not the target you want to go for. Yeah.
Like, much more control. Well, especially in terms of vision and warding and whatnot. But even, like, when NP have been pressuring, it's always been down in this direction.
Still no Blink Dagger on the bat. He's gone for the Drum of Endurance. We've seen this build be pretty successful in certain games, but this doesn't appear to be one of them. Now Echo Stomp to set things up. AUI TP's in. He does not have Omni Slash, down for another 50. NP, even though they have Aegis, probably don't want to commit to a huge fight here. Envy actually walks into the lasso. Follow-up damage from Bisa, bringing him low. That'll be the end of the Aegis, just like that.
Wow, great fight for FDL.
Yeah, so far. But now follow-up onto Susie. Primal Roar, right clicks, they bring him down. Elder Titan gets credit for that kill. It's 1 for Aegis so far. hungry for more, but FDL have already retreated back to their high ground there. And now it'll just be a tier 1 tower push. So, again, not bad for FDL, but it ends up slightly better for NP. And getting the tier 1 tower mid out of this opens up the Radiant jungle that much more, and will give them some more map control. This lead growing a lot here, Motpax. 5K net worth now, and about 5K experience once the graph updates, rather.
Uh-oh. Are you feeling it for FDL?
I don't know,
What
man.
does your heart say right now? My heart is telling me that NP have got a really good shot at winning this game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not just the graph and whatnot. Like, we kind of talk about, like, Undying and then the Bat Rider, like, going to the drums to blink. He doesn't have a partner to really help him, so I think he felt like the drums is just better because, like, if he gets a blink first, the line didn't have enough levels that he'd even be able to help at that point anyway, so you're not going to, like, blink lasso and kill anyone. So they've had to aim for, like, this mid to late game sort of a strategy with heroes that maybe you wouldn't necessarily want to be doing that with.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Beast has got to turn on, man. He's still 0-0-0, right? He hasn't been able to do too much. There's only 5 kills this whole game.
I mean, 16 minutes, though. He still doesn't have Bloodstone. He's very close, but it's, I mean, just Brown Boots. He has literally nothing else. It's still a pretty underwhelming Timbersaw, all things considered, especially when you look at that net worth tab and see how well the cores on the Dire side are doing. I think some of it is also just how conventional this NP draft is. Like, every single one of these heroes fits into the meta. It's in their comfort zone. They all work well together. We've already seen the power, like the Beastmaster, for example, opening up that Roche, the Shadow Demon to protect them while doing it. FDL, I'm still not sure exactly what their golden ticket is. What's that perfect string of events to make this team look like it can easily just start pulling into the lead? We'll see another smoke rotation. 747 blinks to the other side. Tries the TP home, but that will not work out. Plenty of damage. 1437 getting credit for the kill on 747.
Yeah. You look at FDL and you think about how they could get back into this game, and it's like some giant fight where like Bisa goes crazy, and it's just very chaotic, right? Timbersaw loves those kind of fights in the trees, and he's just zipping around from one opponent to the next. NP gets split up, but playing this very team-based, sticking together. Envy, like, despite being this X-Sword Invoker with bots and whatnot, he has been close to his team for the vast majority of this last little while. MSS is already into Necro Book 3, so Bisa doesn't even have this chance to really take over. Because if he gets roared and the Necros get on top of him, he's just going to lose the entire mana pool.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the scary things, too, just the damage output from this Beastmaster with this kind of early farm. He's now picked up a gem, so they'll continue with their trend of map control, 1,500 gold towards probably a Blink Dagger for even more initiation power, also level 11, so the ult just does that much more damage, shorter cooldown, all that good stuff. Only one outer tower remains for FDL. If they're going to make a play, it's got to be pretty soon here. Bloodstone's up on Timbersaw. This could be a good time. 747 still kind of crippled from all these deaths, man. NP are just gunning for this poor Templar assassin. And they might be again.
They got wards, they got hawks.
Uh-oh.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Nope, not going to find the angle. Scary times, though.
I know, can't even get mid. Now there's hasted MSS coming with Roar.
Stun onto MJW. Follow up for the Omni Slash. Brings him low. Jumps onto Bisa. Repels him, and they bring down the Tombstone immediately. Alacrity makes that one pretty easy. And it's just a kill
only
on the Bat
6
Rider.
kills, but it just feels like it's over, you know? They have
Really
just
does.
outmaneuvered, outfarmed. They've taken all the objectives across the map. They've only lost their one tier 1 top.
Like, this game for me, there's nothing surprising about what NP's done. You look at this lineup, you kind of know when the rotations are going to come, you know what the key items are going to be, but this is just good, crisp Dota. They haven't made many mistakes. They haven't given FDL any opportunities to find kills. Very safe, methodical play, and it'll net them a barracks here at 19 minutes. FDL with 4 heroes alive can't do anything. They won't even try to fight. They'll let it fall, and instead let the TA try to push out bottom lane, halfway to a Desolator now, but man, this could end up being a pretty quick game 1. Now a 12k net worth deficit with about 7,500 XP.
Yeah, it's just everyone on the team just kind of lagging behind, right? There's a Blink Dagger now and a Shadow Demon and even onto MSS, but MJW is still struggling to get close to his. Their offlaner has basically not been able to provide anything to them this game. Just always going to be an issue, but it's very evident in this game, you know? Like, He hasn't been able to set up for this TA to help 747 grow. There weren't any giant stacks or anything that could help him out. Not that you can really blame them, because there's, you know, vision from Beastmaster, vision from wards and whatnot. They'd be contesting with an Elder Titan. I don't even know if you'd be able to get off like a 3 or 4 stack as a TA in this game without being poached and killed here by NP. So kind of feels like a little bit of an outlaning scenario.
Yeah, it's generally outlane. Like, FDL didn't necessarily lose all of their lanes, but none of them went outstanding. Like bottom, I think went okay. Bisa was farming, but they were never in a situation where they could find rotations for kills. They were never really in a situation when this Undying could do anything. You know, this is not a hero that thrives in these really low hero score type games where, you know, we're 20 minutes in and we've seen 7 kills total. That is definitely not an environment where you would expect an Undying to feel particularly effective, and he definitely hasn't.
Yeah, I think top was probably the biggest disappointment for them. Just not getting any benefit out of having this Undying, no pressure being put in there.
Basically, all he did was do damage to the Shadow Demon, and then they were never able to turn it into a kill.
Literally all he did.
That was about it. And that's just really not enough. That's
and this Vision again.
Oh no, Stan King. Hug your Leshrick and run. Looks like he'll be okay for now. 1437 trying to scout things out. He does have a Blink Dagger on the Shadow Demon, so can afford to be a bit more bold with his positioning and take risk like that. The rest of this Dire squad rotating down bottom. They see this TA pushing, and they do not like it one bit. Here we go. MSS, blink forward. Primal Roar. Follow-up Earth Splitter, perhaps. Will connect. And, my God. There was a TA there at one point. SVG didn't even break his smoke. Bat Rider still trying to make some space. He's going to fly himself deep into enemy territory. TP up at about 5.
Nope.
Curious where he's going here. Now the blink gets broken by the Spirit, and Stomp finds him.
Base.
It's a YOLO mission. It does pull all of NP back to their base, so we'll give him credit for that. He kind of like basically forced 2 TPs home in some regard. But yeah, I don't know if that's quite worth. Considering TA is the one hero they need to make space for right now, and she was dead that whole time, I don't know if you can really call that meaningful space created. Now Bisa up top gets set up on, and huge follow-up damage from Envy. Soul Catcher making this a little bit easier. They don't quite have enough to bring him down. Reactive armor stacks close to maxed out, and he will regen quite quickly through it. All right. Timbersall staying alive. That's something.
That's a slight plus, right? Okay.
He hung on to his 12 Bloodstone charges.
Got him.
I mean, Deso on TA, I'm not convinced that that's enough, and she still is so far away. They've been unrelenting with the pressure on this TA, and ever since he got the Blink Dagger, it feels like this item progression has been completely halted. Like, if she dies one more time, it feels like the Deso might never come. And it's all unreliable, too, so if they kill her, you know, 1 or 2 more times, it just completely cripples her economy.
Woo! I don't think anything would have helped you either in this situation. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
if you go Deso first, it doesn't matter.
No.
They probably needed some sort of a sneaky Roche play or something, but MP were very wise in denying that.
Only thing that I think Deso could have done early, aside from open up Roche like you were talking about, is it allows FDL to 5-man, maybe without the blink on Bat Rider, where they just have this all of a sudden huge spike in damage on one hero. Sometimes that 5-man can catch the other team off guard. Maybe you grab a tower. I mean, they've only killed 1 tier 1 tower, so even just having an item that would open up that objective gaming in the, you know, first 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. You
could have gotten them some momentum. I mean, this
you
blink.
picture like Deso, Blink, Bat Rider, right?
Yeah.
And then they could actually get something done together. Tombstone being dropped on the tower. There could have been some sort of a push. But I think maybe just the fact that MSS, you know, he's a Beastmaster. So when they had 3 heroes pushing up top, they managed to take the full duration, or like the full health of this tower and this tower while they pushed top.
Yeah. It was a straight up 2-for-1, and I think NP got a kill out of it. So it was a pretty good trade for that tier 1 tower up top. And, you know, normally you would look at that and say, okay, that opens up the Dire jungle a little bit. Now they can start to invade. But it really didn't make a difference because NP were pressuring so hard on the other sides of the map that FDL haven't really had any kind of opportunity to benefit from that tower going down. Stan King, yep, he gets evaporated. 1437 does die in the duration of the lasso. They trade 1-for-1. That's not a bad start for FDL, but now they're running low on resources. Tornado catches the Bat Rider up top. Bisa gets put to sleep by the Stomp. Undying, maybe a little bit late to the party. Won't be able to do much, and Bisa will fall. Say goodnight to your Bloodstone charges. That'll take him down to 8. And NP will have 4 still alive. Of course, all of their cores still remaining.
Yeah, they had to do something. They saw AUI in the pit with a DD rune. So they're like, okay, well, at least the Jug's not with them. Go, team, go. I think 747 was still in mid, though, and not quite there when the engagement started. So it still wasn't best case scenario, but you gotta take what you can get. NP really haven't given anything this entire game. So they finally net their second kill. The 1437, the Theater, who has both their deaths. Probably, SVG, I suppose. He denied something, so that doesn't count.
Another easy Roche now for the Dire side. He's just going the way of Mr. Eternal Envy. Desolator has now been picked up by TA, so this is it. This is the potential final fight, I think, for FDL. Let's take a look at the buyback situation. Pretty grim if you're on the Radiant team. Only Undying. Good old Terry. Uh-oh, I hear a Primal Roar. 1437. Doesn't even get an auto attack off with the Desolator. That is just mean. That's straight up bullying. He doesn't have buyback either, so TA down for the count. Rest of FDL now getting repelled. Tombstone comes down, but it matters not. Lasso from MJW also matters not. And they are just getting cleaned up. The right-click damage is too much. Nice Earth Splitter. Finish off the Stand King. Buyback now from Undying. That's it, GG. Not a single auto attack with the Deso. Tough game for Susie.
Woo. All right, time to talk this one out. You know, I think they got to go back and just talk about like what went wrong in the lanes, what they feel they could have done differently. How can they take that sort of a draft and put it in a win up against NP? Maybe like rotations from the Undying into that bottom lane to try and at least put some pressure on that Beastmaster or like SVG and his other Titan. You know those rotations he's making towards the mid. Perhaps being able to do something about that. Can you see in the top right corner Envy's Invoker jumping up and down?
I already clicked out.
Oh, damn. It looks hilarious. So there you go. Wow, well played. NP, this is that crisp Dota that you and I were seeing the very first day.
Yeah, man. Like, this is the out of the gate, we're not messing around. I mean, this is a big deal for this team. Qualify for a LAN straight up. It would be cool to just run their way through the finals 3-0, make it look easy, and get a little confidence coming into the big cup. I mean, there's only so much to say about this match. Like we talked about in the mid-game, really nothing surprising. All the item choices, all the rotations, for the most part, were fairly straightforward. They took Roche at a reasonable early timing. They were prepared with Sentry Wards, and it just seemed like FDL were not on that same level of crisp execution. Hopefully they can re-strategize here coming into game 2, because that was a beatdown, man. 3 heroes on MP didn't die once.
Yeah.
The course didn't...
SVG was a deny.
God.
Like, he killed himself to Ancients early in the game. It was
That's
only
true. Yeah, you're
1-for-3-7
right.
that went down.
You're right. Technically a death, but perhaps not the same. Well, with that said, folks, we're going to take a break, then we're coming back for Game 2. I'm Zyori, he's Mottpax. Thank you for joining us here on moonducktv. Still many games to come. This is a best of 5 here in the finals of the Northern Arena Beat Invitational by Bell. Stick around because we are coming back.